Members, next on our agenda is House File 4053. Chair Stevenson, when you get situated, go ahead and make your motion.
Madam Chair, I would move House File 4053 be re-referred to the Health, Finance, and Policy Committee.
Chair Stevenson moves that House File 4053 be re-referred to the Health, Finance, and Policy Committee. Chair Stevenson, to your bill.
Madam Chair, members, in Minnesota, we believe in reproductive freedom and we believe in high-quality, affordable health care. Health insurance is not worth anything to the people who have it if it doesn't cover the care that they need. And when it comes to abortion, that is all too often the case in Minnesota. In 2021, 25% of people needing abortion care in Minnesota had to pay for that care out of pocket, despite our health insurance coverage rate being less than uninsured rate being less than 5%. At present, no plan available on MNsure covers abortion outside of rape, incest, or an immediate threat to the mother's life. That's unacceptable, and this bill would change that, and I know there are some testifiers.
First on the list, we have Dr. Sarah Traxler, Planned Parenthood North Central States. Please approach the bench and introduce yourself for the record.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, committee. Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Traxler. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of Planned Parenthood North Central States. I'm a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist with a subspecialty in complex family planning, and I'm also an abortion provider. As experts in reproductive health care and as the largest provider of abortions in Minnesota, Planned Parenthood's mission is to ensure that Minnesotans have access to the care and resources they need to control their bodies, their lives, and their futures. Abortion is an essential healthcare option that empowers this individual control. That's why I'm here to testify in support of HF 4053. Minnesota has already led the way to protect the right to abortion, and we can play a critical leading role in further safeguarding pregnant people's health by covering abortion in public and private health insurance plans. As an abortion provider, I see how healthcare costs can pile up for Minnesotans, for my patients. My patients aren't trying only to cover their abortion appointment, but they're also covering gas to get to the health center, childcare for their children if they have to stay home during their procedure, and hotel costs if they have to travel far to the Twin Cities. Expenses are a real barrier for patients to accessing health care, and they are disproportionately impacting patients who already face increased barriers to care. New research shows that the lack of coverage for abortion disproportionately impacts women of color. And although Black women make up only 36% of women attaining abortions, they are half of all women seeking financial help to pay for abortion care. Insurance coverage for abortion would improve health disparities. When costs are prohibitive, Minnesotans are forced to make hard choices. I was speaking with a colleague the other day who described a story that he hears way too frequently. An insured patient who lives in Minnesota had to pay for her abortion entirely out of pocket because the insurance company denied her claim after the fact. She received a bill in the mail. This patient, who already had 3 young children at home, considered her options and was forced to make trade-offs about what expenses to prioritize that month. My patients shouldn't be forced to choose between their basic needs, like buying groceries or paying rent, or delaying their abortion appointment until they have enough money for the procedure. Legal abortion is incredibly safe, as we all know. However, every week delay in that care increases the risks associated with it. Insurance is there to help Minnesotans manage the expenses associated with medical needs. Every pregnancy is different, and we need to set Minnesotans up with the tools to manage the unexpected health needs that come with pregnancy, and this includes abortion. Abortion is health care, and health care is a human right. I believe we believe that here in Minnesota. Making abortion affordable would ensure that all Minnesotans can access this essential right. So I ask you please support HF 4053 to require all insurance providers to completely cover abortion procedures in Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Traxler. Next, we have Monica Meyer. Please introduce yourself for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Thank you, Chair, members of the committee, for your time. My name is Monica Meyer, and I'm the Political Director for Gender Justice, and I'm here to support the Abortion Coverage Act. Through our work to advance gender equity and secure reproductive freedom, we know the harm that barriers to abortion access cause. We know the desperate measures people resort to when their insurance providers deny their coverage for abortion care, pawning wedding rings, foregoing shopping for the entire month, for groceries, selling their stove. These are all true stories we've heard from people who had health insurance but were denied coverage in whole or in part for the abortion care they needed. and face the prospect of absorbing unexpected out-of-pocket costs of more than $750. That's a significant expense for everyone, and people who are insured and paying premiums are being forced to pay for that time-sensitive care on their own due to politics alone. If there's one thing Minnesotans have made clear over the past couple of years, it's that reproductive freedom is central to our values. Minnesota voters demonstrated that support by sending a majority to the legislature that would expand and defend reproductive rights, justice, and healthcare access in the wake of the fall of Roe v. Wade in the face of mounting attacks on reproductive freedom nationwide. In polling, they have told us not only that they overwhelmingly support abortion rights, but also that they want abortion care to be accessible and affordable for all. Nearly 70% say that they want everyone in the state to have equal access to abortion regardless of their location or financial status. The legislature, you all, have changed our state laws to ensure that they regard abortion care as the vast majority of Minnesotans do, as an essential health care service as any other. But not all insurance providers have gotten the memo. They still choose to cover abortion care only in limited circumstances like rape and incest, or not cover it at all. And too many of them have made that unfortunate choice. This hurts providers and it hurts people. It decreases access to essential health care that our laws and Constitution regard as a fundamental right. It delays care that's often urgently
Ms. Meyer,
needed.
if I could ask you to finish up.
Just sure. As we know, it hurts people, and they don't have the time to be trying to figure out how to pay for the expenses after they're already paying for their insurance. 11 states require insurance coverage of abortion, and 9 of those prohibit cost sharing. It's time to clear away one more of the barriers to abortion access that are standing between Minnesotans and the care they need. Please support the Abortion Coverage Act. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next, we have Kathy Blazer. Please approach the bench and introduce yourself. You can begin your testimony.
Thank you, Chair and members. I am Kathy Blazer, Co-Executive Director of Minnesota Citizens Concern for Life. I am testifying against House File 4053. This bill would create in Minnesota an untenable position from people of many different convictions and faiths by prohibiting the provision of health insurance plans that do not cover elective abortions. This would force people to, in effect, pay for the killing of unborn children through their health insurance premiums. It would deny them the option of procuring insurance coverage that does not go against their deeply held conviction that elective abortions involve the unjust killing of defenseless, innocent human beings, regardless of whether that conviction comes from following the science of fetal development, understanding the fundamental right of every human being to be protected from lethal violence, or from deeply held convictions on the sanctity of human life from conception. The vast majority of Minnesotans do not support Minnesota's current law allowing abortion for any reason throughout all 9 months of pregnancy with absolutely no recognition of the humanity of the unborn child at any point in pregnancy. Mandating that all Minnesotans be compelled to pay for tens of thousands of elective abortions through our insurance premiums is a direct attack on the long-held protections for the consciences, creeds, and religious convictions of our citizens. The courts have consistently upheld the fundamental right to conscience as guaranteed by our state and national constitutions. This blatant attempt in this bill to force all Minnesotans to subsidize elective abortion throughout pregnancy with no regard to the reasonable convictions of most Minnesotans will lead to unnecessary legal costs as these cases are brought yet again to the courts, who will yet again remind legislators of the fundamental rights of conscience guaranteed across our nation at the state and federal level. Our courts have consistently upheld the conscience rights of individuals, healthcare providers, and organizations purchasing health insurance, particularly in regard to forcing citizens to be complicit in elective abortions.
I'll ask you to please wrap up your testimony.
We would ask members to be good stewards of our time and money by voting against this brazen assault on conscience rights and foregoing the need for such easily avoided lawsuits. Thank you.
Next on the list, we have Karen Adante. Please introduce yourself for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Hello, I'm Karen Adante from Mendota Heights, speaking in opposition to House File 4053. As a Catholic, my right to live my faith continues to be threatened by bills like this. We hear about people of faith being martyred and persecuted around the world and think that those things only happen far away. Yet in Minnesota, faith is under attack. Now, abortion is a serious offense against my conscience and the conscience of many people. And the term abortion has been convoluted, so I want to be clear. I'm not talking about life-saving care to treat things such as ectopic pregnancies and miscarriages. That health care has always been available, as it should be. But in 2022, there were over 12,000 abortions in Minnesota. The overwhelming majority were elective. With medical advances, abortion that intentionally ends the life of a preborn baby is never medically necessary because a good doctor using the benefits of our amazing medical care and advancements in technology can treat both the mother and the baby. If the baby dies, it is a tragedy, but that's not an abortion because life-saving medical care was provided. This bill would deny historically protected conscience rights for religiously affiliated insurance companies, forcing them to participate by paying for these abortions. We should be investing in preserving life, not forcing insurance companies to destroy it. As a Catholic, am I welcome in Minnesota? Saint Pope John Paul II made an urgent plea to our church. He warned of the grave moral decline as the destruction of so many lives darken the conscience, making people unable to distinguish between good and evil. He calls on us to ensure justice for the preborn. On behalf of all Catholics and people of faith, I urge you to vote no and protect our conscience rights.
All right, we'll move on. We'll move to amendments. Representative Niska, would you like to move your A2 amendment?
Thank you, Representative Katiza-Watun and Representative Stevenson. I move the A2 amendment, as has been expressed in testimony already on this bill. The way it's written right now, it oversteps bounds on religious liberty. It compels violations of religious autonomy on faith communities, as well as on faithful Minnesotans, and for similar reasons as the prior amendment on the other bill. I ask for member support and request a roll call.
Right. Representative Niska requests a roll call. There will be a roll call. Chair Stevenson to the amendment.
Madam Chair, Representative Niska, I'm going to ask members to vote no on the amendment today. I'm certainly open to a discussion about exemption. We have had exemptions in prior mandates, including around the contraceptive mandate, but this, except the way that this is drafted, is much broader than that. And so I would not accept this amendment today, but I'm open to the discussion. The bill does have additional committee stops, and this is something that continues to be worked on, but this amendment is too broad.
Right. Any further discussion to the amendment? Seeing none. Representative Niska, any closing thoughts?
Yes, just very briefly, I appreciate you saying that. I hope that's true. I hope that you will work on that. I wish it had been in the bill to begin with, as I expressed on the other bill. I think we should vote for it now and fix it later if that's what's necessary, so that we make clear to Minnesotans that we are going to have a religious liberty protections in this bill. So I urge members to vote yes. Thanks.
The clerk will take the roll on the A2 amendment. Chair votes no.
Chair Stevenson, no. Vice Chair.
Well, I do vote no, but
I'm the chair right now.
Okay.
hey,
I'm the captain now.
Chair Stevenson, vote
No.
no. Vice Chair Katiza-Watun?
No.
Katiza-Watun, no. Lead O'Driscoll.
Yes.
Lead O'Driscoll, aye. Representative Bierman.
No.
Representative Bierman, no. Representative Cha.
No.
Representative Cha, no. Representative Dotseth.
Dotseth, yes.
Representative Dotseth, aye. Representative Freiberg.
No.
Representative Freiberg, no. Representative Cleavorn.
Cleavorn, no.
Representative Cleavorn, no. Representative Kegel. No. Representative Kegel, no. Representative Kraft.
No.
Representative Kraft, no. Representative Liebling.
No.
Representative Liebling, no. Representative New Brindley.
Yes.
Representative New Brindley, yes. Representative Niska.
Yes.
Representative Niska, yes. Representative Perryman.
Perryman, yes.
Representative Perryman, yes. Representative Farr.
Aye.
Representative Farr, aye. Representative Schultz.
Schultz, yes.
Representative Schultz, yes. Representative Tabke.
No.
Representative Tabke, no.
There being 7 ayes and 10 nays, the motion does not prevail and the amendment is not adopted. Members, we move forward to a brief conversation on the bill. We only have the room for a few more minutes. Representative New Brindley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have 2 very quick questions. My first is, this is no fiscal note. It has not been through the mandate review process. What are the anticipated costs, and is it going to be subject to defrayal?
Chair Stevenson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Representative New Brindley. So just a slight correction. The mandate review process hasn't been completed on this bill. It is happening currently. I do understand that there is some defrayal that will be identified when the mandate review comes out, and I'm told that that will happen next week. So it will be before the bill is heard in the Health Committee. You'll have both a fiscal note and a mandate review.
Representative New Brindley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative Stevenson. I look forward to seeing that. My other question is, this bill explicitly prohibits any cost sharing, and I'm wondering why you chose to do that. You know, I mean, we have cost sharing for cancer treatments. We have cost sharing for ALS. We have cost sharing for heart surgery, stroke, any number of things. We have people who make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $500,000 a year, but they're not allowed to cost share? Like, why did you make that decision for this bill?
Chair Stevenson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative New Brindley. It goes back to something that Representative O'Driscoll said at the outset of the hearing, which is that if you have prohibitive cost-sharing mechanisms, that health insurance isn't really worth what it is. And I am concerned, based on the history of certain actors in the healthcare industry, that they will set cost-sharing at rates that are so high on this that it will make it impossible for people to get the care that they need, whether it be for economic reasons or other reasons. So I don't think cost sharing is appropriate for this.
Brief follow-up,
particular
Representative New Brindley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that, and frankly, I've been on the record in the Health Committee saying, like, certainly for MA, it doesn't make sense to have cost sharing, right? I mean, these are folks who clearly are in a position where cost sharing is unaffordable. I've been on the record supporting that. However, there are no limits on it. And it blows my mind that we're saying, hey, somebody who makes $200,000 a year, no cost sharing on this, but there will still be cost sharing on other things, rightfully. They make plenty of money to participate in the cost of their health care. But we're saying we're still going to let them cost share on cancer treatments, rightfully, because they have the money to do so. But no cost sharing on abortion. Like that crosses the line. Like, it's silliness. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Representative O'Driscoll.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to, since the bill author and the chair referenced my comments at the beginning of the committee in his most recent comment, it's kind of interesting that the other bills that we had didn't have cost sharing in them, but this particular bill, I should say, have cost sharing in it, but this particular bill says no. So none of the other bills apparently are going to have an impact on insurance because they have cost sharing. It would only be this particular bill that would have a major impact and an impediment. I find that kind of interesting.
Final comments, Chair Stevenson.
It's a good bill. Please vote yes.
All right. Chair Stevenson renews his motion that House File 4053 be re-referred to the Health, Finance, and Policy Committee. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. No. The motion prevails, and House File 4053 is re-referred to the Health, Finance, and Policy Committee.